supporting the incumbent government.
They allege that the coming July 30th harmonised election is just a futile exercise meant to please the global community. They're now calling for the annulment of the nomination process. This after the nomination court finalised 23 presidential candidates north of our border.
With just 4 weeks to the polls, Zimbabwe Electoral Commission has again come under scrutiny on its independence. Opposition party says ZEC has already failed the integrity test and questioned the credibility of the July 30 elections.
I'm not saying ZEC is not independent, but the perception is that ZEC is not independent. They've been ducking and diving regarding the issue of the voters' roll and all the various difficulties that stakeholders have experienced in accessing the voters' roll. And up to now, I was actually surprised that the President of the Republic promulgated the holding of elections before the voters' roll, or the final voters' roll, had been made available.
Although a recent Afrobarometer survey shows that 53% of Zimbabweans believe ZEC is neutral, some opposition parties and civil society organizations are calling for the nomination process to be nullified.
And at the time the nomination court sat, there was no voters' roll. There was what ZEC called a provisional voters' roll. But there's no such thing in our legislation as a provisional voters' roll. The Constitution refers to the voters' roll. The Electoral Act refers to the voters' roll. There was no voters' roll.
One of the contenders believes the lack of credibility in Zimbabwe's past elections has greatly contributed to the mess the country finds itself in.
When you are not credible, when you don't do things that are successful, you've got no voice. There is no place where we are where we've got a voice. We've got no voice because we're not credible.
Some candidates who were successfully nominated and received copies of the voters' roll days after the nomination court say they uncovered some irregularities.
When I looked, I saw also interspersed in that voters' roll for that ward, there were people we had also numbers. Number one, I didn't have time to go everywhere, but there was one Maybelline Harare, and then there was 3, then there was 9. No address, because the component of the address that is there is entirely the suburb and the city Harare. And there's nothing like 4 Maybelline Harare. If I try to go and look for it there, I'm not going to waste my time. It does not exist.
I'm not very excited about July 30. It might actually produce a very depressing result. And because the way I look at it in my own humble view, I don't see ZEC being in a position to hold an election that will pass the test of legitimacy.
Despite all these shortcomings by the Electoral Commission, the parties maintain a boycott is out of the equation and they will contest the July 30 poll. Ndundu Sitole, SABC News, Johannesburg.
Well, a group of West Rand communities are going to court to